everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New music. So funny. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, yeah, buddy. Hope you're having a good week. We're here to break the next half of the week. The weekend is almost here, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm not alone. I never am, because I always got my guys with me. I'll go around a different way because I see one is empty. Right under me is where in the world is Anton, Benton, Mr. Moral Support. I got to let his name up on the screen because we got to see who the man is, man, for real. And right next to him, my guy, the guy from South Carolina, DBU, Mr. Eggplant himself, Will Kramer's in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just in time, he flew in like Superman, because he's the black Superman. My guy, the shirtless wonder. Yes, sir.
Let's go, guys.
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
Loving life.
They're happy to be back.
Yes,
Ready
sir.
to argue, man.
Hey, let's get it.
I got some thoughts. I'm looking forward to sharing some of these.
Yo,
You say you're ready to argue.
we
I'm
end up
ready.
agreeing.
Yo, but look, before we get into it, as you might have noticed, some of you that are watching, we see you watching. We appreciate your love. Some of you might have noticed there's something that's missing. No, it's not one of us. No, it's not Nathan Snell. Shout out to him for coming and representing last week. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a friend on my head. It is no longer R.I.P. to the Fro, ladies and gentlemen. I know I said that I was going to keep it throughout the year for my man Fitz, but unfortunately life happened. But I can't. I'm a little bitter. I do not want to discuss it, but I do got to show you. I had to say goodbye to the Fro, ladies and gentlemen. So here's a little ode to the good old hair.
So angry.
I'm in pain. Look at that face. That's not a face of joy.
That's
I
like
was angry at this.
free will, like just I'm mad at the world kind
Just
of
picked it
thing.
down. I didn't even care. I didn't care how it was done. I just went to town on it. So my baby, and you know, I know it's hot outside, okay, but when I went out, I got to breathe. I got to chill, okay, because there was nothing there to protect my head any longer. I'm in pain, gentlemen. I'm in pain. I got to be honest with you. I'm in pain. I can't even look at that anymore. I can't. So we got to go to some better moments. And today, if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, my tag team partner, the one I always refer to as I open up this show, I am one half of that dynamic duo. The other half of that dynamic duo had a birthday recently. Janae Strother. Happy birthday, Janae. You know I love you, girl. You the reason why we started this whole thing in the beginning, man. We've been doing it since 2016. So I got to show a little love. So I got a little video real quick. We're gonna show her some love.
Man, we've been doing this for a couple years now.
We are so excited to have you guys here. This is Let's Talk Football. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Hey,
Season 2.
Let's talk football. Let's go. Come on. We're going to kick off the show.
Let's do that then. Yeah.
All right, man. I am Janae Strother.
And I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Yes.
We are back, baby.
Yes.
We are back.
Yes.
All right.
Sometimes, we've missed the mark.
I think Atlanta will win.
Let's hope so. I hope so.
I hope so.
We're in agreement. We hope so, but we don't know. Maybe even lost a couple bets.
Oh, I'm so sad right now that I have to put on a Cowboys jersey.
I'm riding with you, Dak. I am riding on your shoulders, baby. I would love for you to do great. But if...
She want him out.
Oh, but if... Hallelujah. If you decide to mess up...
Come on with it. Come on now.
I decide you should go put in TR. Tony Romo. Tristan.
Look, one of the biggest topics we had last year was your boy, TR. Tony Romo. We didn't know what was going to happen. He's going to be a free agent. He's going to get traded. Is he going to stay, in Dallas, whatever? He ended up taking the deal.
I love Tony.
He's now a broadcaster.
I love Tony.
No longer a quarterback.
Let's not get it twisted, y'all. He's still one of the best quarterbacks that's ever.
Oh, my goodness.
We had this conversation. Hey, wait.
What?
Let's do that topic that you said.
Yeah.
Will Tony Romo be a legit quarterback to get in the Hall of Fame? That make me crazy. Me and Sean had a bet, and our producer, we also had a bet with him. Redskins gear is what I have to wear for today's show. As you can see, he brought a jersey that is near and dear to him.
Yes. Let's see the back.
Doug Williams
you know, it's my
jersey.
guy. I'm nothing but the best for it. This is gonna come over and be a Washington fan.
As you guys can see, I'm shaking right now because it's about that time.
Let's go!
It rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours.
Come on.
We got some teams
Yeah.
looking sad.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. Going for the Super Bowl.
I'm not watching the Super Bowl.
You're not watching the Super Bowl?
Loyal Dallas Cowboys fan. I refuse to watch them.
So we'll get to the call.
You want to go ahead and discuss it now? Because that was what everybody was talking about.
Let's discuss it.
Let's
discuss it because Ramsey is the best actor. He deserves an Academy Award for that. Like a playoff cut. They're slowly becoming what? I said this week 1, ladies and gentlemen. Week 1, that the Jaguars will make the playoffs.
Playoff contender.
They're looking good.
They are looking great.
They may even be first in their division.
They.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is my best buzz, my part-time BFF, my 100% road dog, Janae Struther. Happy birthday, girl, man. I hope everything went well for you, man. Can't wait to get back into the studio and produce this magic like we do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, Janae.
Let's go. We got to get her on here one time, man. I don't know if she's going to like the odds with 4-on-1, but it's all gravy.
Man.
The Wolves
are going to be after her.
Real quick, also got to shout out my home girl. Grew up with this girl, went to church with her. Parents referred to us as Simba and Nala. Samantha Snyder, I've known you for forever and a half. Got 2 lovely baby girls doing a thing, married. Shout out to you. Not going to say ages because I just told you don't do that with women. So happy birthday to Samantha. And also another birthday, Will, I'm going to come to you. Happy belated birthday to Joe Jacoby, the old ex-left tackle, one of the original Hogs, a monster, one of my favorite O-linemen ever to do it. Number 66, ladies and gentlemen, just had his birthday. And, I love him. I always love when I hear about him. I remember he used to have the car dealerships and all that stuff, he was a household name. But one thing that I think is terrible, and it's something that we can relate with Art Monk and Darryl Green, how it took them a little longer to get in. Joe Jacoby's not in the Hall of Fame, Will. I mean, what's up with that?
It's a crime. It is not right because this year Alan Faneca's getting in for the Steelers, and Alan Faneca was an All-Pro. He was a great guard for the Steelers, and he probably is deserving of getting in the Hall of Fame. But these guys should not be getting in before the person before them, who paved their path to get there. Joe Jacoby was a lineman in the 80s and early 90s. He was on the Hawks. The thing about Joe Jacoby that makes him so amazing is he played every single position. Left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard, center. And he did that anytime there was an injury, he would slide over. And he allowed, by doing that, he helped create the opportunity for what was so great about the Hogs is they just had one guy left and another guy stepped up. You had George Stark, on there, Mark May as some of your bookends. They left, so Joe Jacoby became a left tackle. He allowed for guys like Raleigh McKenzie and Mark Schlereth, who became all pros, to groom. They could get stashed on the practice squad or as just backups to really learn. So by the time that it was their time to take over, and Jim Lachey, he could just slide to a different position to help us out. So that's what made his versatility was unheard of. And for so many years, writers would not vote for him in the Hall of Fame, including Sports Illustrated's Peter King. And some of it had to do with this. He hates Daniel Snyder. And while this player wasn't for Snyder, he wasn't going to give Snyder the opportunity to have a player in the Hall of Fame. And it's a shame. Even Peter King's come out to say it needs to happen. I believe there's only a certain window, and then you start getting into the veterans group, and it just, his window for getting in is getting smaller and smaller, and he needs to get in, bottom line.
Oh, without a doubt. And I also wonder how much, obviously, that play in 1985 when Joe Theismann gets his leg snapped by LT. I wonder how much of that comes into factor, because he was the guy that he came around the corner on. And the movie Blindside was made essentially about how you need that superior left tackle. And I hate that that's the play that a lot of people remember, because like you said, he played all five positions. He was a mainstay on that line, and the 91 Super Bowl, he was the guy. I remember the 80s Super Bowl, that 87 one. My favorite clip is of him walking down the field, and he sits there and gets Doug Williams and kind of headbutts him and said, "You could be yellow, you could be green, you could be red or blue. It don't matter. You are quarterback." You know what I mean? And it was just like, he's such a big mammoth man to say that. Right. Man, did something. It did something for me. So shout out to, man, Joe Jacoby. Hopefully that Hall of Fame is coming to you soon, man, because you were well deserving of that. Mm-hmm. Definitely. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close to the preseason, the regular season. It's all coming. Guys, we thank you so much for bearing with us, as we've had a lot of light months. We made up certain topics last week. Who's the breakout player of 2021? Got a lot of traction, a lot of Washington fan groups and whatnot. Which jersey would you purchase, present as well as in the past? Definitely also got a lot of traction too. So definitely like that y'all are paying attention and watching, and we're gonna go ahead and move along with it. Something that's been going on and we've been talking about for a while, and it's seeming to come to a head in the near future. Jason Wright announced there will be a new name and logo to be revealed in early 2022. Didn't say how early in 2022, but definitely early. Anton, I'm coming to you. What do you think about this, man?
I like it. One, it's not Snyder making the call. It's somebody with the job title that's making the news and making the foremost announcement. Like, hey, we're going to have it by 2022. I'm glad that they are, because that helps us get a mascot. Finally, like something that we want to come into the stadium prancing our name about or shouting our name. But, it's kind of been a guessing game and letting the players do their thing. As a fan, we want to be able to shout our name. Washington football team doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm glad Jason has come forward and said something.
Yeah. Now I will say this. What this does do is it definitely gives us a timeline to know how long we're going to have the name football team. Totally. And as we've documented on this show, 1 year with football team, we won the division. We swept Dallas. Maybe we can get another 2 wins and retire the name unblemished against Dallas. That would actually be beautiful. That would be, I got to think positive in this time. I have to think positive. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, with this happening, we're talking about the new names. We've given you every name that we could come up with, and we've also criticized and ridiculed all the crazy names that they've brought out. But we're going to go break it down. Recently, one of the things that came along with this announcement is there was 5 names that were put to like the forefront. And those 5, we're going to go ahead and break that down and figure out, like it, love it, hate it, how do we feel about it, and then culminate with our picks of who we think or what name we think they should go with. So with that being said, we're going to go into our next segment, Like It, Love It, or
Hated it.
Yes, sir.
Why y'all act
Let's
like
go.
y'all don't know that line, bro? Like I don't like it every week.
It's
we do it,
yours.
bro. Like y'all don't know.
Like
It's
it's
yours.
your shout out. Like
Yeah.
you've been doing it, and then
That's
you
why
just
I
All
stopped.
jump in on that, man. Like we all know where it's from.
stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it. It's your moment. Capture it, seize it, take hold of it.
I have too many moments, man. I don't want to outshine you, Anton. So, like, that's my only thing, bro. I'm trying to include
That's
my
Mr.
bad
Most Important.
for being sentimental with your ass, okay?
He's being inclusive here.
I'm
You
trying
know?
to include you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come sit at my table. Come sit at this lunch table, bro, okay?
Let's go. Let's go. Yo, so at Like It, Love It, Hate It, we're going to go over each of the 5 names that were pushed up to the forefront. Ab, I'm going to start with you first. The first name on this list, the presidents, the Washington presidents. Like it, love it, or hate it, Ab. How do you feel about this, man?
Hate it, bro. Honestly, it makes sense because we're in D.C. We have the Nationals already. We have the Capitals already. Like, honestly, it don't make no damn sense because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they've ever made a mascot, a Nationals, or a Capitals, but it makes sense for our dumbass town. So, yeah, I hate it, though. I hate this. I hate it so much.
Yeah. Will, what do you think about it, man?
Yeah, that's awful. That is just awful. I get it. It is DC related, but this would be really tough. This would be really tough. So I hate it.
Yeah, I can't say hail to the presidents.
No.
You know, especially if we was under a certain regime from before. But Anton, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a thumbs down.
Gotcha.
On that notion, you know, as much as we've had our past of that title, it is not gonna work for us.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm well. I mean, hey, you already know how I feel. Presidents is ridiculous. I don't like it. However, when I looked at the other names on this list, maybe presidents got a little higher because some of these other names are kind of quirky. But we're gonna get into that with what I believe most people feel like is the favorite, RedWolves. Anton, how do you feel about this one?
Man, I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, what's not to say that, you know, our whole stadium is howling when the whole game is starting. You know, let that happen. Come on. I'm for it.
Okay. Will, what you think, man?
I love it as well. I could totally get on board with this. I'm hoping, and I do believe the team is listening to the fans. And I think of all the names that no one really wants the name to change, I think this one does have the most fan support. While you're gonna have some that don't like it, I think this has the most. But I'm gonna kind of be a downer here and say I don't think it's gonna get chosen. Jason Wright. Well, for 2 things. Fred Smoot was asked over the weekend, and he got interviewed yesterday, and he got asked, "Is RedWolves going to be the name?" And he's been very vocal. And Fred Smoot, when he answered the question to someone, his face got really sad, and he said, "It's not going to be the team name." And then Jason Wright did an interview with JP Finley of NBC Sports Washington, and he said, "The hashtag is not going to determine what our name is, and nor are we going to pick a name around a specific letter." And so I think people are liking the RedWolves because of everything that's come out with it. The logos that you can come with it, keeping HTTR. It's the stuff that we can grab onto and see the past and the future. And we like it. I don't feel confident it's going to happen. If it does, maybe it would be the Wolves, but I don't think they're going to go Red Wolves. It just allows too much ties of Redskins, just the red. But this is the one name that, I'm all on board for that one.
Yeah. Ab, how you feel about it?
Will just depressed me, bro. Like, literally, I was excited, man. Like, I was legit about to do this whole thing about to run around my apartment, start howling and everything about the RedWolves and everything. Like that's how hyped I am.
Because the team needs to hear this. They may not like it, but they need to hear what the fans want. It's our team.
But you are a Debbie Downer, bro. Like, even though
I bring facts.
Even though I know you are telling the truth, even though I agree with you 100%, like I'm just, like, it's really just, it hurts my heart to sit there and hear that. Like, I'm trying to tell you, Sean, I was like this about Red Wolves. Like, I was about to get up. Do not be my neighbor. I will wake your kids up. I'm trying to tell you, like, if we winning, I'm shaking this whole apartment building down. It's going to be a wrap. And then my kids are going to be like, Daddy, what's wrong with you? I'm going to be like, they definitely are. And I'm going to be like, it's that feeling. It's that feeling. And I'm trying to tell you. But no, Will, you're absolutely right. And honestly, to me, I just like Red Wolves would make too much sense. And the fans, we would love it and everything like that. But if it's anything like DC football, they're going to pick something that really lets us down. And it really is. They're going to pick something that, like, literally, I know you guys want this, but nah, we're not doing it. F what you think, F what you want. I'm not doing it anyway. And it hurts my heart, even though and that's how I know it's going to go. And but again, Will pretty much was absolutely right about what he was saying. They're going to pick something, like, they really are going to pick something that literally depresses us when we walk into that stadium.
Yeah. And I think they're going to pick something that's going to actually make everybody cling to Redskins, and they're going to sit here and try to do all this to get us on board to some other name. Because let's be honest, we saw the reaction we all got from Red Wolves. That's been the name that's kind of been pushed to the forefront. And it's the name that's, we could most relate to as far as a fan. We can already know what we're going to do. We're going to howl. We can come in there with our red. It still has HTTR. You know what I mean? Red Wolves has definitely been pushed to the forefront. But like you said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how we feel and what we think about it, because they have a different agenda.
And to me, like, honestly, that makes so much more sense to go Red Wolves, because it's already selling and it's not even out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a market standpoint, I'm trying to tell you that those things would be coming off the shelf. These jerseys would just be coming off the shelf and everything. I'm trying to tell you, I'm probably going to buy like 3 jerseys once they came. Like, if it came out Red Wolves, I'm already buying 3 jerseys.
Yeah.
But I already know it's not going to be that. It really is. Like, they changed the football team. I didn't buy one damn thing. The one football team that I got was a present, and I barely wear that.
Right. Same here. I honestly, Red Wolves. Hey, I'm with you guys. That's my pick. I absolutely love that pick. I'm already on board with it. But actually, the number one pick, the thing that I've had, I'm going to shout out Nathan Snell. He's watching. What's going on, man? The pick that I like is actually the next one, and I'm going to start, and it's the Renegades. I thought the Renegades were the closest thing that we can go to Redskins. If I'm thinking Redskins, we know Warriors was out, something in line with that. But just like with the red from Red Wolves, I do think that might be too similar to Redskins, or just the same type of person, same aggression, I guess, whatever would have you. So I don't think it's going to get much play. I loved it. It kept us. We can keep with the HTTR logo. It kept with kind of a fighting name, like the Renegades. Like we're coming back, kind of like the Redskins. Like we're Warriors, or something like that. But I don't think that's gonna fly. I don't think that's gonna fly. So, Anton, what do you think about the Renegades?
I mean, I like the motive behind the name. It definitely is not, like our past, like staying with Native American or whatever. It's kind of the fighting name. It's kind of the fighting spirit. It's a good choice. It definitely stands out as one. There should be a thought process. Like, okay, if this is a name that is standard that we won't have any problems with, okay, we'll choose this. That's how I see this name, Renegades.
Will, what you think, man?
I'm somewhere in between. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. Like, I'm neutral on it. I think the only reason I'm really kind of neutral on it would be the R, as what we're talking about. But if you read Jason Wright's statement, and he wrote a terrific statement, and I kind of feel like they're starting to just like slow drip the information. That's when he said Warriors is out. And he talked about the Native American imagery. And for the very first time, I'm going to give him some credit. The franchise, other than Daniel Snyder, finally said that there's a lot of pride in the former name. Snyder would always say that, but so many people that are against the name were like, it's racist, it's got to go. And Jason Wright said they did a whole lot of focus groups with Native Americans, and they found that there's pride in the name, there's hatred in the name, and so he just said that is just not the business we're trying to be in. If we're changing away from Redskins, they don't want to have any association, and I'm pretty sure the NFL is kind of guiding this too, saying you're not going anything Native Americans. And Renegades, I think, is easy, just like Warriors was easy. That's a quick flip. And they could have easily done that, and that's why I think it's. I don't even think this is an option. I'm surprised. I think this would be the next name that they announce publicly. Like, this name is off the table, and I kind of think it might be cool if they start letting us know, like, this is out, this is out, this is out,
right?
Just so we can, for those of us like us hardcore fans like this, we're just getting that slow burn, until eventually they're gonna announce something, and we're gonna be like, that sucks,
right? Yeah, because eventually that's definitely where it's gonna go. And to that place where it's like, this is terrible. What are we even called anymore? And I'm coming to you, and I got to go back to what you said before about RedWolves. This is a fan base that is clinging to our past. We are clinging to that red skin. You know what I mean? In the most loyal and the most faithful, not derogatory way. We are clinging to our past, what we love, what is a part of us. So if you have a name like RedWolves, which we can jump onto, why not make that transition easy? Even with Renegades, you still have the R. So what do you think about Renegades, Ab?
Okay, let me say this. I do not give a damn about this R. I don't know why people are holding on to that. It does not matter to me one damn bit. And everything, it that is the most minuscule detail about this that I want. I just want a cool name that we can jump onto. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oilers didn't sit there and be like, oh, we got to pick an O for our new name. And so octopuses. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Nah, man. No. They opened it up to sit there and try to get a cool name, cool mascot. And Titans, honestly, that's pretty dope. Like, Titans is pretty dope. So we should not limit our selection to just our people. Like, that's not a big deal. Everyone wants to hold on to the team song. Everyone wants to hold on to the HTTR. That's not a big deal. We can come up with other acronyms. We can come up with other things, like other team songs. We can come up with new things. That's the whole point of this culture change. Like, if we're still holding on to what's back there, then what are we really doing? Are we really doing a real culture change? And so another point that I'm gonna make. So Renegades sounds cool, right? Sounds real dope. Like, honestly, other than RedWolves, Renegades sounds really cool and everything like that. Do we know what Renegades are? Do we know what that means?
Well, I
They're,
mean,
they're
like,
detractors.
warrior-
I'm gonna read you the definition, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
A person who deserts and betrays an
Yeah.
organization, country,
Oh.
or set of principles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Nope. There that goes.
You might as well call us the Washington Trumps. Like, I don't understand. Like, why people are sitting here entertaining any of this? Having treacherously changed allegiances. This doesn't, like, Renegade sounds cool, but that definition alone is not what we should hang our hats on. We're renegades. We're traitors, guys. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's our mascot. Yeah. Like, honestly, I'm not proud of that. I'm really not. And honestly, Renegade sounds cool, but once I found out what the definition of it was, that's my last pick, bro. It's
Right.
like I take presidents before I take Renegades now.
I
You
get
get
that.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it just
I get
doesn't. It makes no sense to have that be like. Again, I know I'm not the first person to look up what the definition of renegades are, and it just seems like that made it to our top 5. Bro, they crazy, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's so dumb, man.
That's absolutely right, man. That's absolutely right. Because when you break that down, it's like, oh, dang.
It's not an option.
You know what I mean? No, like, no.
How is that an option?
Right.
How?
And then you're like, what? And you're like, wait, what would the mascot be?
Donald Trump.
Like
a dessert? Like a dessert? Like, how would you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that would be. Now, I will say this. I did look forward to hearing Jay-Z and Eminem's Renegade, playing in the stadium. That would have been pretty dope. I would have like, but yeah, no, I can't. And with that definition, now that I have knowledge of that, I can't touch that name. I can't touch that name. Yo, we got to shout out Nate. Talk about what about the Washington Go-Go's? Will, didn't you say that's a D-League team or
NBA D-League? Yeah. And
So
it fits the D-League. That that's a great name for it.
Yeah, we're not gonna make us the Go-Go's. He's saying Washington Monuments.
That could happen.
I don't like the sound of it, but yeah, it can.
It could definitely. Yeah. Right. It's. So we'll go ahead and move on to one of the next names. And ladies and gentlemen, I think the portion of this show where we give actual legitimate names is over. And now we're just going to go with the clowns, the clown cars. The next on this list, the Commanders.
I don't think anybody.
I got nothing. Does anybody want to speak on this?
Yeah.
Okay, Will, what you got, man?
I'm going to depress you all.
Oh, no. This is the pick. This is it.
So
it's the one that breaks the camel's back.
Ab said it earlier. What is a capital? What is a national? Okay. And they've had a fan base rally around those. I mean, I got no problem with CAPS, caps. Love it.
Yeah.
That Washington, that curly W to me now looks dope. I'm good with it. If you think of DC, and they want it to be regionalized, that's what we talk about presidents. Well, what is the president? He's a commander. It's like, what is the history of George Washington? He's a commander. What is the history of the city and what do they do? I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying like I said, Washington Monuments, like I would not be surprised if this is what they go with, because you got to think about this. Jason Wright, Julie Donaldson, the people making these decisions, they're not Redskin fans. They're not from Washington. They don't care about the 4 of us, to be honest.
Yes.
Because we're fans. We're talking about this team as the name Washington football team, and we're going to tune in 2022. They're looking for the future because they already got us. And again, I'm not saying this is the name, but like, this is what scares me. This is what it's going to turn out to be, because there's going to be no R, there's going to be no script R, there's going to be no HTTR, and we're going to get the Washington Commanders. That's what it's going to be.
God, yes, that is.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
But you're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right. We went from, we have the Nationals, we have the Capitals, and we used our defense used to be the national defense, security of defense. Everything's going towards that. And if you look at this, the next name, this name, and another one, 3 out of the 5 have something to do with commander-in-chief, leadership, that type of thing. And they did say that they were going away from the Native American or the warrior, anything like that, and going towards more of a DC representation. I gotta say I would like this more than I would kind of like Anton, you mentioned a couple weeks ago. We talked about the Mystics and the Wizards. I don't want us to go to something mythical like the Warlords or the War, something like that. Yeah. I can get behind this. You know what I mean? The Commanders, okay, fine. The Commanders. What? There we go. Let's take command. I've already said the picks I like. This, to me, I can see it, but it's just like, damn it. Come on.
Exactly. Like, you feel like the spirit of is like, you don't want it to be following everybody, all the other names. We've got the Nationals, we've got the Capitals. You don't want to follow them. You want to have a good name where we, as a team, as a fan, can be proud of it and want to cheer it on, not because it's politics. Like, I feel we're going to have politics involved, and it's going to suck, and we're just going to have to suck it up and blow a pop.
Well, so that's kind of where there's a lot of folks that think it's going to be a military theme, and I think it's a strong thought process. But I think they may try, just like what Anton is saying, is if you're going to go some type of military route, you have to be apolitical about it.
Yes.
And so you got to be careful with what type of military name are you going for? If you threw out some other names, I'll hold off until I'll get a couple names out in a little bit.
What you think about it, man? I'm sorry, man.
It's like
it's heartbreaking.
It's boring.
It really is boring. Like, and thank you. Thanks for saying that. That's exactly what it is. It's like they didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, DC is where the president's at, so we'll call it the president's, and then the president is the commander of the military. So, that's another name we'll pick. Oh my God, you boring bitch! Like, Jesus, like, it's so like it's so bad, man. It's like, what do you have all these people you're paying for just to come out with obvious ass names like this? Like, it just doesn't make, like, to me, it's like, it's such a waste of money. And especially you got fans out here telling you exactly what they like, what they will buy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just does, it makes, like, of course you guys are right. We're just going to fall in line when they pick a name. Okay. Obviously that's what we're going to do, but it's just, like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, you have all this money, all this time, all these resources to pick something exciting for your fan base, to have us finally excited about our team, and you just crap it all away. It's so bad, bro. So basically, commanders, presidents, same damn thing, man. It's the same. I feel the same way about presidents, so it's no different.
I got something to say to Nathan on here. We already have a trademark problem. Stop suggesting names that are other franchises. John Bon Jovi owns the Philadelphia Soul. He's not going to sell it.
Look at him.
You better.
Sitting here just guessing at names. Like, stop.
What, the chicken wings? Come on.
Yeah, the golden wings, the Watson soldiers. Come on, man. Come on. And Ab, I mean, I don't want to get you any more fired up, but if you didn't like the presidents, you didn't like the commanders, you most certainly won't like the next name on this list, the Monarchs.
Okay, so I'll follow up my same reasoning from before. Presidents, commanders. Do we know what Monarchs are?
like
That's
those
live.
in the monarchy.
It's a family of leadership.
Oh yeah.
A sovereign head of state, especially a king, queen, or emperor.
Yeah.
So we have a commander, we have a president, and we have monarchs.
They are trying to make a
I'm
hierarchy.
a bit redundant here. They're
Mhm.
not trying. Like
No.
literally, they literally got synonyms for names, and literally
You're absolutely
that's
right.
the three That's the three top choices. Synonyms, bro. Get out of my face, bro.
Yeah.
They're not trying, man. And honestly, I pray that this is just like a gag, and like they're like, "Psych, you really thought we were going to pick one of these sorry ass names?" But no, literally, I honestly feel like they're going to pick one of these sorry ass names,
Yeah.
and it is going to be our reality soon. But literally, monarchs, commanders, and presidents, literally synonyms for the same damn thing.
Right.
And like it goes to what I was, and I'm being redundant again. They aren't trying. These are boring names, and that's why I like RedWolves. It's just kind of, it's different. It's exciting. And we already got like I can see. Can y'all imagine that being our being our Hal being our 12th man?
Mhm.
Yep.
Bro,
It's fun.
it is fun.
Well, welcome to the Wolf Pack.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And unlike NC State, we'll actually win. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
why are
fun.
we hyped before the name even comes out? We are so hyped for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
tell you what. So I don't even think monarchs is a possibility. Ab, go ahead and read that definition for me again.
A sovereign head of state, especially a king, queen, or emperor.
That's not American. King, queen, emperor. That's not even
True.
our country. That's what
Very
we got
true.
away from. How did that make the list?
Right.
Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I love history.
There we go. There we go. So that cancels that one out right then and
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? Narrowing the list already. Anton,
Yeah.
how you feel about monarchs, man?
I'm with this guy over here. Like it's like it's like one of those answers they throw in the tumbler to see if it sticks.
Yeah.
We already know which name's going to call out, but this one, we've already have the Washington Mystics, and then we're going to have the Monarchs like right next. No,
Not gonna happen.
no.
I think there's a WNBA team that's the Monarchs, to be honest.
Yes, it is.
I guess you could say Monarch butterflies.
That's that's would be the joke of our team.
Yeah.
Like the cowgirls,
Yeah.
of them. Like we would.
You guys ain't nothing but some
Let's go
butterflies.
butterflies.
Right.
Ah.
Oh, look, hold up, man. Nathan talking about not trolling y'all with these names, just thinking of the top of my head. Just like you brought up Jeff George
Yeah.
and Bruce Smith as our legends off the top of your head.
Champ Bailey is a Redskins legend. Mhm.
Right? Yo, that's his guy.
Champ Bailey got ran out of town because of his marital problems.
Get out.
Oh my gosh, you went way back, bro. I didn't.
He didn't bring that part up. I was waiting last week. I was listening. I was like, someone's got to know this. Champ Bailey his wife said, "We're out of here."
I didn't remember that, man.
Oh, he was cheating on her.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
so
we
she
got
said, "We're
Clinton
out of
from
here."
that. Yo,
Yeah.
and actually, we got two people from that. We got Clinton Portis from that. Clinton Portis got Sean Taylor from that. We all know how we feel about Sean Taylor and what he means to Washington. So there it is. Yeah, with me, Ab, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we got synonyms. We have three separate names that mean essentially the same thing. Leadership. Some kind of form of being in charge, and that presidents, commanders, the monarchs. Honestly, I'm looking at this one, and it was the bottom of my list until you read the definition of renegades. I'm like, that can't happen. So that goes down.
Right.
Monarchs is just down there with it. If it was up to me, I wouldn't take any of these at all, except the one we've talked about, the one we've loved, the one we've already can see ourselves living in, the Washington RedWolves.
With Sean's hat. Your hat that you're wearing right now. Put the little tail on it, Ab. See, this
Yes.
is why we want the R.
It would be
Right
the other
there.
way. It wouldn't be sticking down. It'd be sticking up.
You could just do the tail feather where the Indian feather is. Just make it the tail.
There we go.
Boom.
Bill's already ahead of
We
it.
can.
I stole someone's idea. It's all over that Redskins hub. Not original.
We wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have known. We would have given you all credit for that.
I'd get trademarked and sued.
So, let's go around the horn, starting with you, Ab, and just go. Tell us your pick, why you like it, what you riding with out of these 5, or maybe you have another one that you're kind of like, I want to go with this.
RedWolves, duh. Like literally, I literally shit on every other name on this list. So it's definitely RedWolves for me, man.
Yeah. Will, what you got, man?
Yeah. I mean, RedWolves is the only name I've seen where I've actually legitimately said, I can get on board with that. I can buy that stuff from day one. Like, I can do it. It's the only one.
What up, Cam? How you feeling, baby? Anton, what you got? What do you think the name could be? What's the name you pick?
Man, all I can think is this one. RedWolves is like,
Red
where's
Wolves.
that? Like, how can you give up? Now, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the other names, I thought the Red Tails would have probably have made it to the table of names because we already have planes flying over from Andrews like almost every game. Why not have the Mustangs flying over the stadium?
I think it's too politically charged, bro.
It is.
And I think
It
it's
is.
I think
It
it's time to
is.
stay away from it.
Yeah.
I'm just stating my opinion from it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you have a fact. Yeah. It's
I'm
fact,
just
but it's-
letting you
Why
know.
not put that
know
on
what
the
I'm saying?
table? You know what I'm saying? But like that's things where, I think the Red Wolves just has more of a stampede following. It's not like one or two people are going to follow. This is going to be a stampede.
Yeah.
I
Welcome
think
to the Wolf Pack.
I mean, I really will say, like, out of all the names on the list, like they're just throwing out all those other names just to see how much more people are going to be like, all right, this is going to be the definite name to follow.
Yeah. Or knowing them, they're going to be like, oh, this is the name you like? Okay, let's go the farthest away from this as possible.
Like, I feel like with Bill, your hat, it's not going to be 2 feathers down. It's going to be 2 feathers up. Like, it's going to be like that kind of fur, like around the R. Like, it's still going to say the R, but just a little bit more enthusiastic for Red Wolves now.
Well, I would love to if we can bring that. What's up?
No, I was gonna say, like, our team, like with being the Redskins, we were limited on our logos and everything like that. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm gonna just throw this out here. The Rams already have a second emblem, second jerseys, like in the second one in 2 years. Like, they got a new one last year, and then they got another one just a week or so ago. Like, but with the Redskins, we were very limited on what our logo or our designs can be for our team. Honestly, we're bound for a change. We need a change. This is what this is for. Like, honestly, something that, like, because the variations that they had for our jerseys and our pants, it's almost the same thing every other year. So it's just we need this as a team, as a fan base, as a city.
Yeah,
I can see them totally switching it. And honestly, Nathan said Washington Monuments. I know that sounds just lazy and generic, but it would be an attraction. It would be an attraction to other people coming from other places. Oh, the Washington Monuments. Are you talking about the team? Oh, we're talking about the actual, you know what I mean? I'm trying to think from their perspective because logical thinking doesn't seem to work right now.
Right.
It don't work for them. Nope.
Yeah, right. And we're talking about these names, talking about this stuff. It's crazy. It seems like you would just put these things out there and be like, all right, what's the most reaction we can get from it? We see the positive reaction, and then we see the Monarchs. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, we can't go with that. So it breaks my heart that we're even here. I miss
Yes.
Redskins. I'm not gonna lie to you. I absolutely miss my Redskins. And I feel like the new name that we're gonna get is gonna make us miss the football team. So sucks to be there. So we got to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up tomorrow is the extension deadline for the franchise tag designees. Will, I'm going to come to you first. Brandon Sheriff is on that list. So explain real quick what exactly this means and what do you think will happen with Brandon Sheriff?
Mm-hmm. So back before the new year starts, teams can franchise a player, designate a player the franchise tag, which essentially says they're going to hold on to him for 1 year. They have to get the top 5 salary of their position. Mm-hmm. All right. And it basically gives you a chance to hold on to a guy for 1 more year and start negotiations. You can negotiate all the way up until at this time here in July. And at this point, if you can't come to an extension, that player is going to serve out his 1 year term. And then you have the ability to sign him next year to another franchise tag. And you can do it about, I think, 2 or maybe 3 times. But it keeps going up. Their cap hit keeps going up per time. So in Brandon Sheriff's situation, this is the second time he's been designated. So he is getting $18 million this year. He is the highest paid guard in the National Football League with us. And so essentially by tomorrow, the team has a chance to, can they sign him to an extension, maybe lower that cap hit if he's willing to take it, or can he just say, I'm going to sign for 1 more year, I'm going to get $18 million, and we can talk at the end of the year, end of the season, or I can go into free agency in March 2022. That's kind of where they're at right now with it.
What do you think they should do? I mean, you've discussed it many times on this show, and we know how you feel, but definitely elaborate on what move they should make. How should they do this?
So I'm not sure. I may have missed this part of what you said, Will, but you said top 5. I thought you said top 5. It's average of top 5. Did you say that?
I don't know specifics.
Okay.
If it's average, I just know it's a very top 5 salary.
Yeah.
For that position.
So it's average top 5, and for I just want to clarify. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful right now. But it's for positionals. It's for positions too. It's not just guard. It's offensive line.
Right.
So, and we all know the highest paid offensive lineman is left tackle. And that means that's Trent Williams kind of money right there. So Trent Williams is making like $20 million per se. So it's the average. So basically he's getting paid average offensive lineman money, not average guard money, because average guard money is like $12 million a year. 12, 13 million a year.
If that, yeah.
And then you add that 1.5 times. I don't know what it is. I think it's 1.5 or two times, because it's his second franchise in a row. So that's what makes it 18 million. So this right here is, we're falling into the same boat as Cousins. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins. And honestly,
no.
You said no?
He's saying to me because I said the captain.
Oh, so yeah, we fall into the same scenario as Kirk Cousins, where we're basically creating this monster of a salary for this player, but we can't live up to signing them long term for it. And like, to me, and honestly, I've called this last year. I said they're gonna put this. They put this salary. They put the franchise tag on Brandon Sheriff, and basically he has no choice but to say no if they don't come anywhere close to 18 million. Even though guard money is only 12, 13 million. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And honestly, so the highest paid guard right now is Brandon Brooks. I think that's Philadelphia, and he's getting paid just over 14 million. So the Redskins probably went and said, "Look, we're going to give you $14.5 million." I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying this is a reach to keep.
They're going to say 14.5, but then he's sitting there like, "But I'm getting paid 18 million." You got like, there's like, honestly, this was going to happen. The fact that we didn't sign him last year, they shouldn't even gone through this. So. This reminds me of a situation of Ryan Kerrigan when I was telling you guys we should have traded Ryan Kerrigan 2 years ago. Not last year, 2 years ago. Like, it was already late when I was telling you guys we should have traded him last year. Like, that was already late. But when in the middle of the year, when he was getting all these sacks, we're playing like maybe 20% of the time, that's when that was his highest rate. We should have tried to trade him for a second round pick then, but it just didn't happen. And now we're stuck with maybe a fourth round compensatory pick for Ryan Kerrigan next year. And I don't think we'll get a third because that's for the Kirk Cousins we let go. That's for the you know what I'm saying, the Tom Brady's, that team, like the Patriots let go. That's the highest that you can get is a third round. Ryan Kerrigan, hopefully we can get a fourth round. We might not even get that. So,
Joe Thuney's making 16 mil this year. Brandon Brooks 14. You have to pay Sheriff around 17 to 18 to keep him. Yep.
Yeah. And so, but I mean that's basically what I'm saying. Like, in order to keep Brandon Sheriff, we have to pay this man somewhere close to 18 million, and that's ridiculous. And you can't do that. Like, you just can't do that. His next team that he signs for will not sign him for 18 million. But it's principalities right here that he can't sign with us for 18 million. So right now, the only way to go right here, where his value is this high, is we need to trade this man. We need to trade this man before the season starts. And honestly, and I don't wish injuries on anybody. We need to pray for an injury on the team so a team could be desperate, especially with a high value quarterback, or they got all their cards in on their team this season. Hope for an injury on their offensive line so Brandon Sheriff becomes a need. And right now it's just luxury for a team to try to trade for him. He needs to become a need in order for a team to just go out there and be like, look, we're going to give you a first round for this all-pro guard.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy to think, man. Shout out to the people that are watching. We got Nathan watching, Cameron. Jack Niedermeyer's been watching with us. He put up that last comment. Thank you for that, Jack.
Yeah. Good info.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Anton, so what are you thinking about this, man?
Dude, I, you know what, Ab, you put a good price or a good stamp on what you were saying, because I don't want him to be another Morgan Moses. I don't want to be him at the last moment. We let him go when we could have let him go early, or made that decision to trade him at that moment. You know, I feel like I totally agree with it, because you made a good point. You know, why make him spoiled with this 18 million, and now if he tries to go somebody, they're going to be like, well, we can only give you so and so this much, and he's going to be like, well, no, I deserve blah blah blah, but he's not going to get that. So we spoiled it, basically. Like,
we definitely spoiled him, but the thing is, out of principle, he cannot sign with us lower than what we already gave him his ceiling. Like, next year, like I said, he won't be getting 18 million from anybody else. So next year he'll sign a long-term deal, but it'll be for like 16.5, 17 million. But the fact that we already set the price range at 18, he can't sign with us for anything lower than that. It's just business.
We got suckered.
Yeah, we got effed. We did.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I didn't get a chance to I just summarized before, but I was going to say, in March, I liked this deal. because I felt it made our team better. Like we're a better offensive line with Brandon Sheriff. But that was because I was going by recent histories of the guard market kept getting higher and higher. You know, if you remember, actually, Ron Rivera decided to let an all-pro guard go in Carolina, and he signed with Jacksonville. Andrew Norvell or Norwell. And he signed a huge deal in Jacksonville. So Ron's done this before where he's let a guy go. But some of the contracts were getting higher for our offensive guards. And so I started thinking, well, $18 million for a better player, I didn't think it was that big a deal. A couple of years ago, Eric Flowers went from an atrocious left tackle to a serviceable left guard, and he got $10 million a year. And it was like, and we weren't upset when he left for that much. We wanted him, but we said, not for that much. So for me, I was like, so we have this huge cap. What's another $8 million? Now I'm going to recognize that this past free agency, the dollars for guards did not happen. It was the exact opposite. It's exactly what Ab was talking about, saying like we can get someone who's going to get cut, and we're going to be able to get him for cheaper. Like, hey, we did just make a trade and pick up Eric Flowers. The San Diego Chargers. Sorry, I'm butchering some names today. The Los Angeles Chargers. They cut their guard. Was it like a last name Turner or something like that? I think the Steelers picked him up for cheap. Trey Turner, yeah. So it happened. I didn't think, like, I was going by recent trends where it's like, all right, a couple extra $1 million. We got a bunch. It's good. He's an all-pro player. But, like, you look back at the offseason now, and it's like, Sheriff is gone. He's playing this year, and they're going to let him walk. You know, but it's like it's like they didn't need to tag him.
At all.
They could have gotten some value elsewhere.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and I think that's going to rear its ugly head coming this fall. I think it's going to rear its ugly head with finances, and unless a situation occurs like you were talking about, where some team is just to that point of desperation where they need it, and then we're able to parlay that into some draft picks and get some compensation for that money that we're spending. Unless that happens, I think we're gonna get the raw end of the deal on this. What were you saying, man?
No, I think when they franchise tagged him, they were hopeful on signing him long term. Yeah. But to me, if you're on your second tag, it's less likely you're going to sign him now. And then they sign him a second time, and they're hopeful, but they have to go through that little game of, we're very interested in you and everything like that. They have to go through that game first. And to me, I honestly think now the move is to trade him. It really is. And Will, thank you for saying that I'm right. Low key saying I'm right. I appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I heard you. I heard you. I know you don't want to admit it, but I heard you.
I'll admit it. If I feel I need to, I'll admit it. I'm not wrong very often, Ab. It's very rare. So when it is, I'll admit it.
I love it. Anton, what'd you say, man?
So, Ab, like, if you know how we were talking about finding that cheap lineman in the draft or at the start of this, do you think Sheriff could literally make his mark of being that good left guard to the point where we let him go and draft a cheap one or get a second round, third round lineman to replace him? Or do we like suspect he's going to do bad and we trade him at the end of the year?
He's right guard, isn't he? I'm sorry.
Right guard. Sorry.
Right guard.
I think I was
to me, our next right guard is probably already on the team. Like, okay. I think we have too many tackles / guards to sit there and act like not one of these guys are going to be our future guard in place of Sheriff.
Okay.
And that's just
if you remember correctly, when we did our 53-man roster, I had a lot of extra guards.
Did you have like 11 people or
I had
something?
11 or 12
linemen.
on my team, on my roster, we're good. I'm just saying. I just want to state that right now. On my roster, we're good. Hey, go ahead, man.
No, but like Will was reiterating what I said earlier is that teams are going to cut people, and
Correct.
if say we trade Brandon Sheriff and we have a hole at right guard, if we don't move somebody over to right guard, like we still got Charles. You know what I'm saying? Charles like can still play guard. You know what I'm saying? If he can, like, if we don't have our next right guard on the team right now, then I think teams are going to we're going to pick up another guard from another team. And that
I feel like we're going to be in that limbo, just like we did with Cousins, having that franchise tag, and we didn't have like a secure quarterback to replace him when he was gone.
We're not going to be in limbo because we have, like, you can't, like, because a good quarterback, it's not on every team, but you have depth at guard. And that was the point that I was trying to make, why you don't franchise tag a guard for $18 million. You know what I'm saying? Is that guard, you can get a serviceable guard that can work for a season for $3 million. There's no need to have an all, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can put a JV player in there and still work out your offense. Now, a quarterback will definitely hinder your offense, so it's not the same thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get you. Like, it's point made.
No doubt, man. And so we'll see how that plays out, because that definitely is something that we have talked about since he got franchise tagged back in February. Back in the early off season when we sat there and saw that. So moving on real quick, before we go, we definitely, since we are talking about contracts and talking about signing and re-signing people, there are a number of guys that are up for a contract extension, and some guys we want to get ahead of the game with. Logan Thomas, Tim Settle, Cornelius Lucas, Jonathan Allen, John Bostic, Dustin Hopkins, J.D. McKissick, just to name some of our prominent guys that we're really trying to make some moves this year to re-sign them, get them under contract. Some of the core players on this team. Ab, I'm coming to you first. We can see a bunch of guys. You talk about a Logan Thomas. You talk about a J.D. McKissick, guys that definitely are at the top of the list where you're like, oh, these guys are integral to our offense, they're integral to making things happen. But then you got Cornelius Lucas and Tim Settle, who might not be the top of your list, but at the same time, last year with some of the injuries we had, they came to play. So who do you think we should make priority? Do you think we should keep all of these guys? We think cut half of them? Ab, what are you thinking, man?
All right, so I think priority from our list, these are the main guys. Our priority should be Logan Thomas, Jonathan Allen, and J.D. Logan Thomas and Jonathan Allen. Those should be our priorities. Then my second tier, I would say would be Tim Settle, but that's a reach. Cornelius Lucas, that's a reach too, and Dustin Hopkins. I honestly, like, he works with us, so he was pretty inconsistent last year, but J.D. McKissick, I think after third year, Antonio Gibson gets done, he's going to be all by himself, like you know what I'm saying, with a touch of Patterson here and there. So honestly, I J.D. McKissick, it's a wait and see. Like you wait to the end of the season for that. John Bostic, same thing. Because I think we can still get a middle linebacker in the draft, and by the time who did we just draft? Jamin Davis. Mm-hmm. By the time end of the season comes, Jamin Davis is going to take over that Mike role, and it's a wrap. Like he'll own that. But our priorities are definitely Logan Thomas. We should definitely try to sign him as soon as possible this year, not wait till end of this year. And Jonathan Allen, the same thing. Jonathan Allen, if we don't try to sign him, then we need to trade him.
Yeah, he's worth it. We can get something from him. Will, I'm gonna come to you next, but first and foremost, gotta shout out the people that are watching. Nathan, I know you're still watching. Jack, you're still watching. I want to shout you out, man, because you came on the show, and I want to say like March, maybe late February, early March, and you were the first person, at least to my knowledge, to predict that with the first pick, we were going to pick up linebacker Jamin Davis from Kentucky. Shout out to you, man. I remember you talking to me about it. I remember he said it in the chat one week, and the next week he came on the show and said it again, and that was before I had known anything about it. I was living I was living very Jeremiah all off season, and we saw what happened in the draft. But Will, man, how do you think we should play this, man? How do you think we should go about these extensions with these guys?
Yeah, so some of these decisions, there's going to be one difficult decision. A lot of players, you just let them play out their contract, and we'll see if they're worth bringing back. So Logan Thomas, I'm going to be contrarian here. Logan Thomas's value could not be higher right now. And so this is not the time to re-sign him. You want to wait till the end of the year because last year he had his best year of his career. He also was the second option behind Terry McLaurin. So we had to throw to somebody. It was McKissick or Thomas for Alex Smith's dump-offs. But now we got Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown. You got Adam Humphries, who's going to be a stud slot guy. Cam Sims. How many? There's only one football. I think Logan Thomas's stats are going to go down, and that's when he's going to be cheaper. You signed him for 2 years, $6 million last year. It was a great find. But if you were to sign him now, he can go off I'm a 72 catch receiver or tight end. You need to pay me like an emerging tight end. Whereas I don't know if there's going to be enough ball to go around for him to put up nearly the same type of numbers. So I would hold off on it. I like the guy. I'm not saying I don't want him on the team, but I don't think you extend him right now.
So you're saying gamble on him?
You got right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim Settle, I don't think has any interest in signing here. And it's for his best interest.
Right.
Because even if he re-signed here, he's going to have to deal with Deron Payne on his expiring contract, Matt Ioannidis, and he's in a rotation. Tim Settle's the guy that some team's going to pay him great for him, but low for them, and he's going to be a starter somewhere. So he's going to have no interest of signing him. And good for him, Right. The one I'm torn on right now is Jonathan Allen. I love the guy because he brings more than just stats or more than just production on the field. He brings the moral support. He's the locker room leader. He's the franchise tone setter. And I think there's value in that. But dude's stats have been declining. He had 2 sacks last year. If you're going to re-sign Jonathan Allen, he's going to get top D-tackle money. And if you're talking $14, $15, $16 million a year, I want to be paying someone like Fletcher Cox, who disrupts stuff. Now, from all I see or hear about with Jonathan Allen, the coaches talk about it's more than stats with him. It's the stuff that we really can't see or numbers don't show. So I'll trust their judgment, but I think that's kind of a tricky one because, like I said, you're paying for, was it 63 tackles and 2 sacks? Maybe he freed up other guys to, and we'll see that. But that's the only one that I kind of think is tough about.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that. Anton, what are you thinking, man?
So out of the 3 names that I'm going to choose on that list that probably should encourage the extensions. Right offhand, I think Logan Thomas, John Bostic, McKenzie. McKenzie has basically proven himself when the problem of not having or taking leadership of the running back role. He's done that. I think he needs that extension with the team. He will make a namesake if our boy can't make his name his own self. So he's a good wideout running back, which is needed in the NFL. I think our team needs it. So I think giving him an extension to stay with us, making sure he's around, we have that option with him. We've got the plays with him, will help. John Bostic, he's made his name for himself here. Why not give him the extension? He'll be a Fletcher Cox, but I think he's managed to do more for our team.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that works. And I think Logan, he's making a name better than Jordan Reed already. I think he needs that extension, period. Allen, Lucas, Hopkins, I think they can all be replaced. Yeah, I think they're critical players, but I think they can be replaced.
Interesting. Honestly, I love what you are saying, Will. I think you got, before we even started with this, I was ready to jump on Logan Thomas all day. But then I love what you said. I don't want to get caught up in the 72 receptions he had last year and him going as, now he knows he's somebody that people might want. He's got a lot of footage on him on, what he can do. So he might say, hey, look, well, you don't want me to, test my talent elsewhere, pay me now. I'd like to go to the end of the season, see if he can make it a back-to-back thing, and then, hey, maybe we could pay you like that. Jonathan Allen, too. I love Jonathan Allen. I love what he brings, but I do think, Matt Ioannidis is coming back. You know what I mean? So I just getting them in the mix. I would want to have Jonathan Allen for sure. That's somebody I would talk to. As y'all know, I have 11 offensive linemen, 11 or 12 on my line. So Cornelius Lucas would definitely be somebody I need, if not for a starter, for depth. Okay, for depth. And I'm going to stick by that. Okay, I can't stick by anything else, as you see. So I'm going to stick by Mr. Lucas. Dustin Hopkins, Ab, you hit it on the head, man. Dustin Hopkins is just too wishy-washy. I feel like we can get a good kicker somewhere. Tim Settle made great tape with us. He did good with what he had, but I think he can definitely look elsewhere. Bostic is the one that I'm very interested in. I don't know, because I've heard the great things about Jamon Davis, but I've never seen him on the field except for Kentucky. You know what I mean? Allen is the third best interior pass rush rating behind Aaron Donald and Chris Jones.
Good stats.
Yeah.
Disruptor.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, Jack. Yeah. So you would want to keep him there. He's been proven and whatnot. And I definitely think with Ioannidis come back, that will free up Settle to go somewhere else. Hopefully, get paid somewhere. Who knows? We'll see what's going on with him. But I think this is definitely good to look at. Ab, I do want to come to you real quick. In the notion of us paying guys, getting guys for the long term, potentially getting a contract extension, you and I had talked about off camera potentially getting ahead about with McLaurin. So elaborate on that, man.
So if I'm correct, after 3 seasons from your rookie deal, you can sign an extension. So Terry McLaurin, after this season, will be his 3rd season. So it'll be his third. he'll be eligible for an extension with the Washington football team. And to me, I don't think we should wait till the 4th year. We need to get this man his money ASAP because next year, next free agency, Devontae Adams is about to reset the market on wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we should try to get Terry McLaurin his money as soon as possible so it just does not skyrocket, because right now top wide receiver money is about 20 something million, 21 million. And honestly, with our defensive line that we're still trying to pay off, we're going to be in a conundrum like Dallas was when they're trying to sign Zeke Elliott, Amari Cooper, and Dak Prescott. And we honestly, if we do it right, we'll be able to pay everybody, get everybody paid, get everybody under this umbrella, all our essential players. But we need to do this soon, and as soon as possible with Terry, because his number, especially if he holds out like Brandon Sheriff is doing, it's only going to get bigger.
I think he'll be humble and take the first offer. Like, I really do.
Why do you?
He's worth more.
See what?
Look at his name. His name is moral support.
I'm dead honest. Like, I think he'll be a Brady and take the lesser offer so he can get other people on the team.
Why? Like, why is?
But it's not
asking Brandon Sheriff to do this. He already got his all guaranteed. One, he was the number 5 pick in the draft, so he already got big money right there. Two, he got a franchise tag, so that's guaranteed money on top of that. So why aren't we thinking Brandon Sheriff is going to do this? Why aren't we saying this about Brandon Sheriff? Why are we expecting a 3rd round pick wide receiver that barely is making $1 million to take a discount?
He don't want his money. He's an
Alfred Morris.
And we're going to need it.
That money. He's going to deserve that money.
He's going to deserve it.
He deserves all the money.
Morris.
He earned that paycheck. Alfred Morris never ran down Hardy and stopped him from scoring a touchdown and changed the involvement of that whole game. Alfred Morris didn't do that. Terry McLaurin did that. And
no offense, Alfred Morris got robbed too, but I'm just saying.
And wait a minute, Alfred Morris went to Dallas. We ain't talking about that punk. Neither are we talking about Colt McCoy.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's gonna he's
gonna take the money.
He's got his people around him now. Like, he wants to keep his Ohio State, his Chase Young, his Samuel. Like,
you mentioned,
but he's not going to take like a $10 million discount to do that. I think what I'm saying is, if you signed him now for 18-20 million, that's saving money in the long term, because
you know what?
When it's time for him, the bar is going to be higher. It's going to be 25 or more because of what Devontae Adams does, and then the next guy after him, the next guy. So that's what he's saying.
I think about like 15, maybe 18. Just
if we don't pay him, somebody else will pay him.
Curtis Samuel's making 13. He's gonna have to get more than that. Like,
he's gonna get more than Curtis, regardless. But I don't feel him taking more than 20 as his own moral support, as my name
moral support
and says it. Like, he will have the heart, like he did when he chased after the ball and does a Tom Brady, and it's like, hey, look, I'm gonna try and sacrifice some of my money for somebody else.
Can I get him? Can I get him, please?
You can have the money, but you
can I get him, please?
Right, go ahead.
All right,
go ahead.
You mentioned Tom Brady, but even Tom Brady got paid before he started taking discounts. He was on his 5th contract before he was just like, you know what? Let all the other players eat, and I'll take a discount, because he's already getting $100 million in endorsements on top of his salary that he's getting from the team. So Tom Brady was at a moment the highest paid quarterback in the league. It wasn't until later in later in his career when he was just like, okay, I'm a fall back so my other players can eat and we can make a better team. So he can't afford to do that right now.
Yeah.
He's not even making $1 million a year right now. But you want him to take a Tom Brady discount?
And the other thing about Tom Brady, when he started not taking the money, he already had a couple of these.
Okay.
He had a couple of these, so he did. He was winning. That's the thing about Terry McLaurin. I'm not trying
to say
give
that
him
he's
money.
not going to take more than a less than a $10 million deal. I'm saying that he's going to take less than 20. He's not saying he's going to take like a Crabtree and take over 25, like reach for the stars for my job. He's one of those people where he wants to earn for his money.
Let me ask you this. If I understand that, but at the same time, what is he worth to you? What would you pay him?
I feel he's worth at least 18, 19.
Fine. Would you pay him that?
Yes.
All right. That's fine. Like, pay him that. Pay him what he's asking for, because he is the guy you want to. He is like we reference Chase Young. Chase Young, we want to build around. He is somebody on the offense you want to build around. So give him what he's asking. On the
facts that we just put a franchise tag too expensive on Brandon Sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we going to pay McLaurin more money to make us over the cap, or more money than we need to spend? Like, that makes an absurd moment right there.
Because he's the most consistent thing we've had since he got here.
That's not even in the conversation for like 2 years, bro. So it's not.
I get what you're saying.
Oh, did Will was going to say something?
Did he pause?
Well,
that's a first.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's 2 years from now for him being franchise tag. So that's not even in the conversation. But what I'm trying to say is, when it's time to pay him and the time limit's up, it'll be time to pay who is it? Deron Payne, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, or even worse, Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
So time's up, and you can only franchise tag one of your great players, McLaurin or Montez Sweat. Do you want to be in that predicament?
You're right.
Nobody so we need to try to sign Terry as soon as possible, so we're not in a situation where we have to choose between him and one of our defensive linemen.
It's all chess. It's all chess. Will, what were you saying? Are you back with us?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was just saying, I get what you're saying, Anton, about you're looking at the dollars, but it has to do with positional value. Hence why are quarterbacks more expensive than left guards? And so you're right. Why are we complaining about paying 18 to Brandon Sheriff if we're talking about 20 million to Terry McLaurin? And it's more about when it's time for him to be re-signed, what will the opportunities be in his contract? And so that's why it's kind of you're going to have to pay this money. Either you're going to pay it or he's going to go.
Correct. And that's why where we're stuck at, if we make that much amount for him, do we make McLaurin the highest paid wide receiver because what he's done? Or do we give him, do we give him that 18 to know he's going to be stuck here?
Well, that's why we're paying him early. That was the whole conversation. Pay him early so we can pay him something that we can both agree on, as opposed to paying him in a couple years when Devontae Adams got his deal, Stephon Diggs, those guys are coming up. When those guys get their deals, McLaurin can very easily be
second deal, by the way. Second deal.
Yeah.
Right. And they can very easily be like, oh, yeah, we want, I want this. And so he'll be like, oh, well, shoot, I do deserve this. I am your number one receiver. We talked about that on the roundtable with Nick and Ab. What constitutes number one receiver? He's our number one guy. So that's what we're talking about. Let's get ahead of the game, take care of it now, because, like you said, you have these guys, Thomas, Jonathan Allen, chasing a couple years down the line, Montez Sweat a couple years down the line. You know what I mean? You have these guys that we have to consider paying. So let's get ahead of the game. So when it is an issue later down the road, we don't have to worry about it. We can already say, all right, he's good. He's got his money. He's content with that. He ain't worried about, oh, what do they have? Because that's the biggest thing that affects a lot of these teams is these guys, they see it's not even their time to get paid, but they're like, oh, he's getting this much. So now I want that. Now I deserve that. You know what I mean? So let's get ahead of the game, because that's something in Washington we don't do. We've, I agree with Sean Spencer. Wait a minute. Nope. This cat.
Who's that?
No, cat. You see this? Do you see this? I don't agree with anything you say. Goodbye.
We're mad at you, cat.
Nobody at this
gone.
table.
Good gracious. You know what, cat? No more posting of your
Nobody
comments, my dear. I'm a little bitter. Come on. I love talking about that, and we're gonna be bringing that up as we get closer to the season. We're 2 weeks out from, I believe, like the Hall of Fame game. We're about a month out from the preseason games. It's all right around the corner. Also, coming up in the coming weeks, we will be doing our fantasy draft. I want to get with you guys. Talked with Nick and Delilah, Nathan Snell. Shout out to him. We will definitely get together so we can do a live show where we have the draft on the show, get cutthroat, bring out all the rules and whatnot. If there's going to be a pot, that we're going to put money into and things of that nature, so we can see how that goes. Also wanted to – what's the other thing I wanted to say to you guys? It'll come back to me in a little bit. So definitely check that out. Shouting out my man Nathan Snell. Ladies and gentlemen, this is today's Wednesday, right? So 4th day in a row going live on some way, shape, or form. Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, Ab, you and I went with Nathan Snell on Nathan Snell's Big Talk Nate podcast. Did that, talk some basketball, talk some Washington football, shouted us out. Then Monday, I had 2 interviews. I interviewed Nathan Snell with the Ravens, and I interviewed my nephew, Jeremy Jovan Anderson, and his music career, the things he has going on. Yesterday, I went on, me and who else went with us? We went on our Nate's show, me and Nicholas Rosario from Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. We joined Nathan on his show, talking about the home run derby, a little MLB. I try to expand my horizons. I'm not just a football guy. This is what I love. This is my passion. So, and then coming on to this tonight, tomorrow, potentially bringing back the roundtable. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my passion. This is what I absolutely love. Okay, anytime I get a chance to hang out with these guys in this group, hey, I'm ready to go. I absolutely love it. I so appreciate you guys for being here and helping me out and getting down with me week in and week out. It means the world to me. You guys don't even understand. And I can't wait till this fall, because this fall, we going to turn it up a notch. When we have the games and we have real stuff to really go back and forth about, we going to turn it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, we so appreciate y'all watching us. We so do. Jack, Nate, Cam, Kat, you're out there. I know you guys in Chicago are watching, man. We appreciate you. We love you for it. We will definitely be here to give you the best content we can, the best content we can put out. So for me, your boy, Sean Spencer, Double Deuce, Mr. Where in the World is Anton Benton, Mr. Moral Support in the building. You already know South Carolina's Eggplant, Mr. Dub K. Will Kramer with us again. Let's go. And the shirtless wonder, Mr. Moise AFRO in the building another week. Yes, sir. Yo, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we put this on for you. We hope you like it. We hope you appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell so you know that, hey, we moving and grooving. Oh, check out our podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're on anchor.fm. We're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, all these different podcast sites. Last week, our podcast total went up to 18 listens. Now, I know that's not a lot to a lot of you, but most of our podcasts go to like 10 or 12 listens. This was last episode was the second highest podcast viewer listenership that we've had since episode like 5. So, guys, we're going to keep making the commercials. We're going to keep putting it out there for y'all because this is what we love doing. We love bringing it to y'all. But we need y'all. It's a two-way street, guys. We need y'all to pay attention. We need y'all to like. We need y'all to hear us. I know I'll be putting out some commercials on some of those Redskins fan pages. You've been hitting us back, going back and forth. Hey, but look, it's not going to be a one-way street. You put up some stuff in them comments, we might have to come back at you. Okay?
I'm coming hard, bro. I'm coming real hard.
You know. So look, but we want to do that. You know why? Because we know that conversation matters. We want y'all to come and watch us on our show so that you can conversate back with us. I think today we had about 5 people for a good portion of the show listening, commenting, watching, really being intrigued with what we're talking about today. So I absolutely love that. We love that. We appreciate y'all for it, ladies and gentlemen, and we thank you for it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sign off. Love y'all, man, and we will see you next week.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New man losing so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean